The athletes have been waiting, you've been waiting at home, and the time is finally here. Welcome to the 2023 IFSC season, and we're kicking things off here in Hachioji, Japan. My name is Matt Groom, and I'm joined by Mei Nagasako in the commentary box. Mei, wonderful to have you back. The last time I saw you, we're in Morioka for the combined final.
Yes.
How's things been for you?
It's been great. I went to the US for team national trials for setting. So that was another good experience to join as a team to kind of select like who's going to be representing the US team. And I think it gave me like new perspective about what the comp setting for the combined is actually like.
Awesome. Well, you are our expert route setter in the commentary box, which is good because we've got some tricky routes out there today. 4 boulders, and we're looking for just 6 athletes to make it through to the final. Mate, we've both had a look at these boulders. You've been chatting to the route setter. Any particular boulders really stand out for you out there on the mats?
I think I'm kind of excited to see what people are going to do on the women's fourth, because it's the most steep section that they chose to set a boulder, and then they didn't put any volume to change the terrain, which also makes it look super hard.
It really does. Well, we're looking at the first boulder. It's a slab start, which is, for me, always a bit cruel for the athletes. I much prefer a physical start than a slab. Padding your way across that wall, bad hands, bad feet, slips at any moment. That's our audience. They've been filing into the stadium here all morning. In fact, they've been queuing. I turned up 2 hours before the event, and there were queues of people outside. So people sitting on chairs waiting, so they're excited to get here into the building. So that's the slab on the left, and then the purple boulder you can see in the middle of your screen. That's a physical swing, coordination styly with an undercling, thuggy move in the middle for the zone. Looking forward to having a look at that one. One of those expansive boulders on the wall. And one of the joys of having split semi-finals is we do only have 4 boulders to look at. So the athletes get lots of space, and the route setters, again, have lots of space to play with out there on the wall. That yellow and blue one in the middle, quite thuggy pockets through the middle section. A nasty bump and a toe hook for the zone move. And then on the right-hand side, probably the hardest boulder out there, the big black sausage volumes, far worse than they look. In fact, I've got no idea how you use those, so that'll be interesting. There's a few of our male athletes. They'll be competing tomorrow, so the men's semi-final and final will take place on Sunday. And today is the women's semi-final and final. And mate, something that all the athletes were saying coming off the mats yesterday in qualifying was just how hard the boulders are and were set. But for me, the level of the athletes this year, again, they've seemed to have stepped up. Everyone looking super strong.
Yeah. Especially for women's round, I think it looked a little bit easier than it could have been. But it's also always really hard to expect how much stronger they've got over the season.
Well, this is the 12th World Cup event in Japan, but only the 5th Bouldering World Cup. And that is the list of the athletes who made it through yesterday. Sofia Yokoyama especially was delighted to have made it through to the semi-final. She was posting on her Instagram. And you can see how many Japanese athletes there as well. And you were saying one of our Japanese athletes, just 15 years old.
Yes, it was her first time competing in Japan Nationals, and then she got 3rd. Her name is Melody. And she also did 5 tops yesterday. So I'm really looking forward to see how she's going to perform today.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by the depth of that Japanese squad. And we often talk about it, but just getting into the team is hard work. Miho Nanaka, of course, silver medalist, absolute legend. Changed her hair colour to bright blonde. Well, Jilu Liu comes out onto the stage from China. She was a surprise introduction to us last year for the IFSC. I remember talking to her coaches saying, look, tell me a bit about her because we don't know a lot. And they were saying, we just don't know because they've been training with COVID restrictions. They didn't know how good she was compared to the other athletes on the world stage. And so it's really good to see her out there on the mats.
Interesting. So it was hard for them to compare her with other athletes because they couldn't really see them on the same stage.
Exactly. Well, she started things off strongly, easily into this first move, and then bad feet. There are some little jibs on there, but they're worse than they look on camera.
Yeah. And then I think the intended beta after this is you are supposed to step through, no hand. So I think that's gonna be tricky.
So she gets underway, standing up with that left foot. And now teetering down with the right hand towards that volume. You can see how slow you've got to move on a slab like this, how delicate you have to be with every movement. If you're new to competition climbing, we'll be going through some of the rules. But the basics are you start at the bottom and you finish at the top. And you can see the top indicated by the blue circle with the word top written on it. She comes down off that middle move. There's a zone hold in the middle as well. That's the first scoring opportunity. And if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see where it says W1. There's a box that will fill up halfway for a zone, full way for a top. And the aim of the game is to really climb the boulder as quickly as possible. If you climb it first time, that's called a flash.
Yeah.
It's worth more points. Jilu pulls on once more, left foot. And that right standing on absolutely nothing, just enough to get a bit of purchase, and bringing the left through, heels down on the slab like that.
On her last attempt, she looked like she was trying to switch feet like she's trying to do right now. Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, it's hard to do. You can't see the feet, it's underneath you. So a little bump, now gets the right foot on. Far better down to that black volume this time. Pinching it, not much on it, up towards the zone. Hasn't got there yet, inching towards it. It's maybe a bit of a step up, a bit of a bump into it.
But I think the right foot is just turned down left enough for her not to stand up super quick.
You can see how hard she's having to work with that right foot, trying to find the part which has friction on it into the big sloper, and the audience responds a no. And you can see the box I was talking about halfway filled for that zone. Matches and goes towards a 2-finger pocket mono thing on the top. She's just trying to position herself. If she stood up now on that right foot, she's going to be unbalanced. She needs to weight it properly before making the move out to the top.
Yeah, I think route setters tend to make a top either slotted, or pockets, so you have to be accurate, especially on the slab. Otherwise, they can kind of like stand up and then try to go for it, and someone stronger can actually dyno into it and then try to hold it.
Slab dyno, that makes my heart stop. What a horrible thought. 1 minute 16 on the clock. Has to complete the boulder in that time. As we watch this move again, that left foot just bobbled off the hold there. Looks back up at it accusingly as she walks back. And tell me, May, because a slab like this, although it necessarily isn't sort of physical in terms of an overhang, it does tire you out using a lot of leg muscles, and you can't just jump straight back on. You need a bit of a rest.
Yeah, because you have to think the reason why you fell, and you have to make a different attempt that you don't make the same mistake again. I think the last mistake she had was she was a little too hesitant to go for the finish, that she kept on changing the body positioning, and then that resulted into slipping off the volume.
Well, let's hope she's learned. She's got 24 seconds on the clock. This is likely to be her last go, and you can see her moving a little bit quicker through here. She knows the movements by now. That left foot, though, standing on nothing to get up there. 12 seconds on the clock. She's going to have to make this quick. She spent a long time trying to find the body position last time. 7 seconds. We might see a slab dyno here. She does pop towards it.
That's what I was talking about.
There we go. This is why we got you in the commentary box. You can predict the future. She leaves the stage, first boulder done, and it's a zone for her. Let's watch that move again. She was running out of time. Always so risky with a couple of seconds on the clock for a move like that.
Yeah, I wonder if she did that on the last attempt and then fell, and then tried it again on her last attempt. Maybe she had the different results.
So next athlete out from Korea, Seon-so, onto the mats. Just squeaked into the semi-final. Good to see her out here. Semi-finals kind of build in intensity. We start slow, just one athlete at a time. And by the end of it, or the middle of it, we'll have 4 athletes out there on the mats. And then by the end of it, we'll be focusing back just to 1. And it's the athletes come out in the opposite order to where they qualified. So these guys qualified down towards the bottom, so they'll be out first. Miho Nanaka qualified first, and she will be out last to climb here this morning in Japan. Confident on that first move, brings the left foot up, spots the toe nicely. Her bouldering has improved so much over the last couple of years. I remember when she was just a lead climber, really, and then she started climbing in more bouldering competitions for the IFSC, and I know she's been working really hard at her bouldering.
Yeah, I remember seeing her a little bit more static movement on any boulder that she used to compete in, even for like a dynamic movement like Aimori. But I think she worked on her dynamic movement to a point where she can kind of go hard on it without trying to break the beta into making it static.
So she's quickly back on again, up to the sloper, cruising through these first couple of moves. Nice and confident to start things off. Left foot through, right hand just palming on the wall. I don't even know what to call that move, mate. What is she doing? It's kind of a backwards flag. Cruise through that first section, but that foot swap, just taking her time to work that out.
I wonder if she tries to go forward with her upper body first and then try to cross step after, like Zilu tried on her first attempt. But I'm not sure. Zilu ended up switching her feet before tipping over to the right side of the boulder.
Yeah, it's one of those slabs, it looks like there's potentially a few different methods through it. Of course, always the challenge is working it out within the time limit of 4 minutes. So you can see changing her beta here, now gets the right foot, much better from her. Making sure of that right foot, only the toe on. You can see how much of her foot is hanging off the hold. You can see she doesn't want to do that foot swap, wanted to do something different.
But then she's also super hesitant to go out to the right.
Now she does the foot swap. Yeah, it's difficult. Her body was way to the left that time. Not really weighting that foot.
I wonder if it's possible for her to go a little slower with the foot swap, because it looks kind of like a pop, and if she can hit it right, then she'll stick it. But that seems like super high risk.
1 minute 30 on the clock. Now gets the left foot straight on. If she can make this work, she'll bring the right foot through, but it's that same awkward position that she was in to start with. It just doesn't seem to work. Cleaning that chalk off that slope. You called that slope a non-hold when we were chatting about it.
I remember we set a border with it, and then people who had to climb that border ended up crimping the edge of it, not the actual slopey part, because the slopey part itself was way too bad.
Just shows the level of these athletes, and it really is a different game. If you're an amateur climber like myself, these athletes make these boulders look easy, trust me. I cannot tell you how hard they are. Coming down, looking frustrated now, and she's got 37 seconds and hasn't figured out the sequence yet.
I think you had to try her upper body moving over first to move, and I wonder if she got into this mindset where it's like, it feels possible enough that she wants to swap feet first before tipping over. And that's why she's not choosing. Or maybe she is now.
So she brings the foot in, she wants to make that foot swap. Oh, bumps it onto the slope, and now she's going to bring the left down, jumping into the zone. Now, just touching the zone like that, that's not enough to give you the points. You have to use it.
Yeah, you have to have a full control.
Yeah, that's one of those rules that change and has been sort of fine-tuned over the years, perhaps. But it's always tricky because it comes down to the judging decision on something like that, which gives us loads to talk about, and you at home listening, loads to discuss.
We were just talking about it before the run started because the second board that Zilli is about to get on had the zone on the undercling, and then we were worried about it being a little too unsure to judge. But when I talked to the route setter, they said, should be fine.
I'm always worried when route setters say that. Futabarito is out. This is her 20th consecutive semi-final. So consistent. In fact, out of everyone there, I think this is the most consecutive semi-finals. People are going to be asking about Janja Garnbret. Well, she broke her toe in the off-season. Talking to the coaches yesterday, they just wanted to make sure that was healed up properly. She'll probably be returning for the first round in Prague in Europe. That's the plan anyway, but she's not here in Japan. So Futaba brings the left foot up.
Oh, interesting.
Very different from Futabarito. It's funny with a slab like this. You watch an athlete do it like that, and you think, well, obviously it's that. But remember, they're seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, but then everyone ends up coming up with different moves, and they were like, okay, that could also be possible.
Futaba making, oh, she's cruising through this. This is her flash attempt, her first time on the boulder.
I wonder if anyone watching the live stream wonders about the little jib above the start volume and the second last volume. It's to prevent girls crimping hard on the edge because they can crimp anything.
There's more of a blocker hold than a hold. Zilu there on that purple boulder that crosses from left to right to back to left again. Has a long look at this. Got the zone on the first boulder, no tops. And you can see now how our semi-final format works. We've got 2 athletes on the mat. 2 more will enter in a bit. We'll try to keep you updated with all the action. Hopefully not miss too many moments, but we'll be showing replays if we do. Now this big swing off the jug to the right, really driving with the hips.
That was amazing.
Yeah, when you see that, such a cool sequence. Right, up to the zone. She'll get, yeah, she has been awarded that. Left foot out now.
I am kind of curious what this last sequence is going to be. Whether it's going to be like a go to the top with left hand and the catch.
She uses the toe hook on the zone. Well, that was impressive stuff from her. That's the top.
And they only took like 2 or 3 attempts for her to get through the beginning section.
Yeah, and with a coordination move like that, it does sometimes take time for your body to learn the sequence. So Futaba stands up now. Drills the right foot. We saw her fall on this move before. Kind of comes into a corner here. It's hard to see on the screen, but that shadow you can see indicates that corner. Eyeing up that hold. Will she nail it? 2 fingers in, gets it this time, but then loses her balance. Left foot swinging round, barn dooring off the top of that thing. It's a long way and quite blind to get those 2 fingers in. Looking back up, she knows how close she was. 48 seconds. Standing up, sticking with this move that worked for her the first time. Creeping the hands down, palming off that yellow jib. Feet through and standing up. She's doing this so quickly.
I think she's dialed in now with all the moves, minus the finish.
Right, here she goes again, 19 seconds. This will probably be her last time at this. Eyes it up, gets ready. Little swing with the hips, but again, can't control the swing. Bit of frustration for Futaba there. It's got to be so annoying. When you've got 2 fingers in the last pocket, you're there, you're done, surely.
Maybe the slab border turns out to be the hardest one.
It's often the way, I tell you, it really is.
I mean, we have 80 more people to see whether it's actually going to get topped.
Yeah, our opinion always changes, doesn't it? It's kind of like, oh, it's impossible. Oh, no, it turns out it's not. Right, Shento back on this swingy move, this coordination dyno. We saw how brilliant that move is. Out to those 2 black volumes, and you have to go again. I wonder if anyone's going to try to stop on it. Ryu Nakagawa is out for her first boulder.
I think it's her first semi-final in the World Cup season.
See if the nerves are going to get to her as she stands up. Quite a few athletes I was chatting to yesterday were feeling nervous. A bit like us in the commentary box, really, I think. It's the beginning of a new season. It's exciting times, and of course an Olympic qualifying year, so the pressure really is intense. So Ryu looks down at her feet, trying to figure out this sequence.
So Ryu is one of the tallest Japanese female athlete that you have probably ever seen in like all the Japanese climbers, because she's like 5'6", and Miho's like 5'4"-ish. So whenever Aimori moves on a border and Ryu Nakagawa climbs after it, it just looks like a complete different border.
Yeah, she has a style, doesn't she? Especially when lead climbing, she just does moves differently.
Yeah.
And we saw Sharon there swinging around on the side of your screen. She didn't stick the move. It's all about that right foot, then stands up and it nearly loses her balance, palming on the bottom of that top of the triangle volume.
She's having a hard time finding the balance there.
And that left leg just hanging in space there. Trying to find this, can't get the balancing point. Wants to bring the left foot in.
Oh.
Yeah, hands on hips as she has a long look. So both athletes having a moment to rest with 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Now, Chen was stopping. You know, I said I wonder if anyone stopped. She didn't do the full sequence of coordination moves there. She kind of half stopped on the black jugs on the right. And then couldn't generate the momentum to get to the next hold.
I think that would be hard. It might be easier if you're a little bit taller, because your feet and your hands are going to be a little closer.
She's not using that jug as well to generate. She's doing it very statically this time, trying to walk across like a slab almost, which is not what she did the first time. So she changed to beat her up there a little bit. And
it is always really good to try all the different possibilities that you see on the wall, but at the same time, you only 5 minutes to figure out what you want to stick to. And then the walls are not textured. Oh,
that was different. Well, she tried to walk across the slab, then jump back to the jug. Now she'll swing. Big slap, and there she tries the sequence of moves.
Was she swinging off of just the jug itself?
Yeah, 2 hands on the jug.
Maybe that's the difference Zilu did, and she hasn't figured out yet, because she was swinging with left hand staying on the start and the right hand on the jug.
So interesting set so far. I know we've only had a couple of athletes. We've seen lots of different methods. There's nothing worse when a slab just climbs one way and you watch the same athletes fall off it a million times and nothing happens. Yep. This is an interesting slab. I like it. Ryu on that right foot. Minute buzzer goes. Reaches back to chalk up. Ooh, brings the left foot up with no hands. Trying to get as much rubber on that right foot as possible on the volume as she gets the left toe onto the jib. Oh, she was always going. You could see the moment where she lost it.
There's still 30 seconds on the clock, but she decided not to keep going.
So Rio leaves. Oh, we stick with the coordination move. Yeah, you're right. 2 hands on that jug rather than 1 on the underclick.
I think 2 hands on the jug makes you go out from the wall too far to swing back in. And then by the time she swung back in, she doesn't have enough momentum to come back out enough.
Well, the buzzer went. The 13 seconds that you see on the screen is just the swap around time. And the brushers making sure everything's clean and ready for the next athlete. We want it to be as fair as possible. Right, we'll have 3 now on the mats. Jilu entering from the right-hand side of the stage. And I'm looking forward to seeing this boulder, these pockets, which you've got to be accurate, you've got to be strong. There's a lot involved in this boulder. Possibly, well, what we were told is one of the hardest out there. I think we were, wasn't it?
No, it was one of the easiest.
Oh, was it easiest?
It was supposed to be.
I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the easiest boulder, ladies and gentlemen. Women's 3.
Look at those pockets. They're probably able to fit 4 fingers in.
Maybe your size, but I'm not sure I could do that.
Maybe not for male climbers.
I've got small hands. Right, she's having a long look at this. You can see there's lots of rubber down on the bottom of the slab. I think that's from a previous boulder, perhaps, but we'll have a look and see. You can see the lights shining off the slippery surface. Big jump to a pocket and a bump.
She just looks like she's on one of those monkey bars right now.
Yeah.
Didn't look that hard at all for her.
Right, left foot on the jib, avoiding the no-tech surface, crimping hard with the right hand. That cross on the hold you can see is just there for the root setters. It's not indicating that there's a dodgy hold or something.
She, again, looks kind of hesitant to go.
Oh! Well, she did for a second and then jumped into that top hold. Allows herself a bit of a smile as she leaves the stage. That's her second top and a flash. Thank goodness you reminded me it was the easiest one, otherwise I'd be looking really silly right now. Now I only look partially silly.
Stava's also choosing to do it with just a jug.
I mean, it looks like the way. I mean, that's how I'd read it. That jug is a good hold. It's probably the best hold in the entire route.
That's also how I read it too. So after Zilu sticking it with the way she used to start, I also thought that was kind of smart because you can have your hand compressed in 2 holds, which makes it more stable to swing back and forth.
All right, so Futaba Ito stands facing the crowd there. Nanoha Kume, her first boulder of the morning. Hello and welcome if you're just joining us. We're in Japan, Hachioji, for the first IFSC Boulder World Cup of the year. Women's semi-final first and the final this evening, and then the men's semi-final and final will take place on Sunday, 23rd of April. This event kicking off an insanely packed schedule for us all. Starting off here in Asia, go from Japan to South Korea, then to Jakarta for the speed, over to America, Salt Lake City, and then the European rounds kick off. So it's a busy schedule, and the athletes, it's going to be a bit of an endurance fest for some of them. Almost every single weekend has an event, so if you're a fan of the sport, well, this is going to be a good season for you. Oh. Spread like a star there on the boulder as she came down.
Stava goes again. I don't think she's tried to use the starting hold.
Yeah, I saw her just briefly off camera sort of face the audience. I'm not sure if that's how she actually started it, but she certainly was thinking about it.
I think that's how she started on the last attempts as well. And yeah, I think this is the women's 2 is super interesting boulder because the jug is tricking out the athlete because it's good enough for your both ends, but it's also facing not straight into the wall, which makes it hard to swing into the direction you want to swing yourself.
Yeah, and the more people are kicking off that wall, the next athlete's going to come out and go, oh, there's rubber there, that's the way to do it. You see it sometimes with chalk, when there's sort of chalk on a foothold and everyone starts using it because there's chalk on that foothold. You know, it's a bit of a trick for the ones coming later.
And to people who are watching like her try the same moves again and again, I've thought the same thing to Miho when I was watching Miho in the different rounds. Like, why don't you try something different? But in their head, it feels close enough for them to do it that way, to a point where they get stuck with this mindset. I have to keep doing this until I can do it, instead of trying something different.
Mori is on stage. Now, if you watched last season, you'll know all about Mori, because we hadn't seen her since 2019. She came on to the circuit, immediately beat Anya Garnbrett, which was a heck of a moment for everyone. And I remember you and me talking in Morioka, but we didn't, you know, she was very good on the national circuit in Japan, the domestic circuit. We knew she was a good boulderer, but we hadn't really seen her on the IFSC circuit.
Yeah.
And she is extremely good.
I checked the history yesterday, because if you have the IFSC, the results app on your phone, you can now see their personal info and how many podiums they've got, how many semi-final rounds or final rounds they've made, over how many events they've attended. And then last time she attended the Boulder World Cup was 2018. So it's the first time in maybe 4 years because we had COVID.
Right, she gets the right foot on the slab. Ooh, she's using a foothold there to stand up on. Well, you said there was different methods. She was one of the shorter climbers. Futaba was a taller climber.
I think she's 5 foot and a little bit, but had longer arms and incredible finger strength.
Yeah, if you talk about Olympic potential, she is one of those that I'm now beginning to see on a podium, you know, and the more we see her climb, the more we think that. But, you know, it's early days here, it's just semi-final. Let's not hype her up too much. But still, keep an eye on her. She is incredible. Look at the way she's holding that slope, and it's such a terrible hold. That right hand underclinging it. Look at that footwork as well. That left foot was on nothing when she stood up. And look at this movement. She's going to do this statically, you know. Right, she's got one hand. You've got to match it. Oh, look at this.
That was amazing performance by Mori.
So good from Mori.
Was it a flash?
We'll just check. Yes, it was a flash, yeah. So that was her first go. And to figure out that sequence, look, got one, monoed it, then brought the hand in. You said incredible finger strength. There you go, proven. Ryu Nakagawa swinging around once more. Oh, this is different.
That's super different.
Well, that's the height you were talking about. She can use that to her advantage, although it didn't work that time. The problem with doing that is you're so stretched out. Once you release the feet, you're going to have to catch the swing on the right hand.
Yeah, and then now you don't have any momentum that you can create with your lower leg, like your lower body, which makes it harder to make the next move coordination.
Big drop knee there on the right foot. Look how confident she is, almost a lead style move there. She rests.
She's actually trying to do this.
Sets the jump, 2 hands on it. Awesome. That was a replay. She did that much earlier on in the competition. You heard the crowd shout whilst we were watching Mori. That was the moment. Ryu's got through the coordination
We sadly
move.
didn't catch the movement, but Ryu Nakagawa did the bottom part static.
We might catch a replay of this. Hopefully this is the replay. So this is the static move. Well, I said it would be hard to hold the swing. Well, she solves it with the toe being high.
I guess she still did a little bit of coordination move, but way less momentum that she has to catch.
Can I ask you a route setting question, right? Is it annoying when an athlete perhaps breaks a beater like this, or do you just sit there and you're impressed with their performance?
I personally get impressed because it's also their ability to see all the other possibilities with their perspective that we couldn't find. So I would say that was on us that we weren't able to see like anyone taller in the field could be taught, like looking at the border in a completely different way. And it's always learning. But I can also see some people get annoyed by it being broken.
Right, gets the left foot up. I want to see her make this work. She's only got 7 seconds. No, and she doesn't. Oh, that's such a shame.
I think static way into the first hold is more efficient for her height, but it also gasses her out by the time she gets to the top.
Yeah, that's a good point. She looked really tired then when she walked off. So yeah, it's maybe a more physical way of doing it. Oh, we're going to see 4 athletes out on the mats now. Sophia Yokoyama runs on to the slab on the left of your screen, and then we get to see boulder number 4 now. And the action will get a little bit intense from now on, so bear with us. If we miss some athletes, we will hopefully show you a replay. And that is this boulder. Now those sausage volumes, they look really good on screen. They're not, are they? And
I like how you're calling it sausage, because we Japanese call it tuna.
I can see that, yeah.
It's like a dead tuna hold for us.
Shall I change the sausage to tuna? I think I'm going to change the tuna. Right, so she's bumping up the tuna hold. Some screw-ons there on the volume, I think.
No, I think it's just a screw holds.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, out to the crimp. Now it's all about the feet, because you got to, ideally you want to drop that knee. She's looking for a big jump there. Oh. And she's right on the back of the tuna hold, crimping the back of it. Brings the left, can't hold it. Good first attempt from her, the double slap. Futa by Ito. Sophia is through the tricky foot swap. Left hand up. Arming down with that right hand on the triangular black volume. Thumbs trying to find purchase. She makes that work in a different way. There's not much chalk there. No one's really touched it in that position. You can see the left fingers at the very end trying to crimp the dish at the top of that sloper, but it's...
Because it feels like it's an undercling, but it's way too high, and your foot is way too low and unstable.
No Hakume shaking out the arms, trying to get rid of the pump as she eyes up this move. So she pops up 2 hands on the undercling, out to the jug, and she's using this method. You can see the difference in, oh no, now she switches back. But kicking off lower than the others. It's just that, always watch the hips on a move like this. You really need to drive them back and forward, and when it's not quite right, as it wasn't there, you can tell just by the sort of angle of the swing.
The one different thing Nonoha was doing from Futaba was Nonoha landed with left foot first, and then landed with her right foot again to jump with both feet, when Futaba only had her right foot to jump off of the one volume. So that definitely gives a different momentum to go up higher and higher.
Futaba Ito is cruising through the bottom of this route. It looks so good when the athletes are flowing. Right, big jump, 2 hands, a slap you can hear on camera, and she gets it done. I think maybe a bit disappointed she didn't send that quicker, but it's a top. Sophia once again starfishing on the wall as she brings the right hand down to the corner. Concentration on her face as she breathes deeply. Left thumb, slightly different hand position this time, but back to the dish again.
I wonder how she's gonna, oh, she's figured out the thrust up.
Right, Ines up. Imori's beater is looking more insane every time I see someone do it, but Sophia Yokohama there, nailing the two-finger pocket. But the problem is when you're going fast like that, it's hard to hold that barn door, that swing.
Yeah, and they're also having the momentum from left to right with such a bad hold. You're gonna swing it out right, like Futaba was doing on her attempt. She had her fingers in, but I think if possible, you want to try to top like Imori did, where you go slow and then try to press the zone hold up to the finish. But once you get up that high and then your top is so close and you can see it, you want to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sophia, oh, she cruised through the bottom. This is her last attempt, almost had it with the left palm down. Really enjoying her semi-final as she leaves the stage. Some of the coaches there, they get the prime seats right at the front of the audience so they can watch their athletes. And then the cameraman, media down in the front, and judges, of course, holding up those signs. And the audience in the back. Imori is back. Here we go.
And Nora Shiran is on the first boulder. I think it's also another first semi-final for her.
Yeah, it's good to see Team Israel at these events. Really strong athletes there. Ayala Kadem will be out later for them. Right, pinching the top of the volume, right foot up from her. Noah Sharan gets her competition off.
She's also relatively taller climber in the female field, so it's interesting to see how she's going to try to figure out the slab section.
Right, she eyes up that hole. Oh, creeping down, just using the toe on the sloper there to steady herself as she drops down, but now she needs to foot swap or do something with that left foot. So she's got one finger on that volume, brings it through. I think she was losing her balance, had to quickly snap it out. Now this could be tricky for Imori. She is a bit shorter. She's going to have to really generate the swing there to get the distance on the jump.
And she's also known as not very dynamic climbers. But she's been working really hard to get her dynamic movements in. So I wonder if you can see that progress on this boulder.
Impressive stuff there. She started that swing without any feet. She's still swinging without feet. Now she starts to drive. Watch the hips back and forth, and she's definitely got the distance. You set, May, a lot in gyms around Japan. Do you see the Japanese team training quite regularly? Do you sort of like hang out, watch them?
Depends on the season. If we have a comp like closer, and then they like to kind of visit other gyms to feel what all the other boulders are like on the other gyms, because if you only stick to the home gym, you get so used to this one style that once you're faced with different style from different setters, you can't really adjust it and you don't get a good result. And now I just saw Imori like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna boulder a little bit because I got pumped from elite climbing.
We watched Ryu there get a figure 4 move in the middle of that. It's a move that really developed in the ice climbing world where you hook your leg over your arm. See if she uses that again. No, Sharan looking a little frustrated as she checks the clock out. Right, watch Imori here again, because she starts to swing here, brings the hands. Oh, now she's dropping back to the first hold. Changes her mind, she brings the right hand up. Her hand's kind of crossed there, looks quite awkward. Close for Imori, but not there yet.
Taehyun So also has been fighting on this boulder. She got to the second tuna on the last attempt. I remember we didn't get to see on the screen, but then she also fell matching on the tuna, where we saw Zilu doing the same thing.
Right, let's swap back to Imori as she starts the swing again. 1 minute on the clock. Oh, she almost stopped there on the bottom purple volume. Oh, look, we see the fig four. That's what I was talking about. So the leg hooked over. It looks very awkward, but try it in your local gym. It is actually quite a secure move. Looking a little bit tired here as she grabs the crimp.
Does look a little gassed out.
She's trying to use her height there, trying to do it almost like a dead point from the drop knee.
I think she got tired from the second boulder by getting so close to the top.
Well, you can see her face there, says it all. She looks out to the audience. No, Shiran calls it a day with 18 seconds. I think Imori might as well. Yep, she leaves. So the difference in style is amazing. I mean, she flashed the slab and then really struggled in that coordination move.
Yeah. So the order of the boulders are also something setter consider when we are deciding which boulder is going to go first and last. And I think they purposely chose possibly the hardest boulder, green and the black tuna, as the last one, because you're going to get gassed out more attempts you use on the boulders before. So it's not just about facing up to this one boulder that you're about to try, but you also have to think about how much energy do I have left for the next 3 boulders I have in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and that's a decision I've seen routers sometimes make seconds before a competition starts. And there's a debate that seems to go on, and then a decision eventually gets made, but it's not set in stone, is it? Right, that is Camilla Moroni, who had a good sort of start to the competition circuit. I watched her at the Dock Masters comp, looking strong. Beaten by Ito. Starts this swing to the tuna, next kicking back.
But Ito would really, really want and need this top since she had a hard time on the second boulder.
Oh, the heel on the tuna, that's so high above her head. 2 hands on the slopey tuna. And a big heel hook, and we see on the left of your screen, getting it done. Right, up to the right hand crimp. 1 move to go, rocks up on the heel, palming down.
That was so close.
That heel is ridiculous, that high above your head. What a good semi-final this is. I'm really the setting is good, I think. We're seeing so many different methods. Separation, we don't know yet. There haven't been that many athletes out, but in terms of enjoyment, I'm having a great time,
And I think how different all the styles are on each boulder challenges all the athletes in a different way. Like you were talking about with Imori, on a slow slab versus quick coordination.
Yeah, interesting set. Well, Camilla, arms crossed, looking at the slab, trying to figure it out. Sophia comes up into the big undercling, out to the jug with the left hand, brings the right through, and then she starts to swing off the jug. Camilla fairly taped up on the right hand. She starts with the left. Now the starting position is indicated by the pink tape. You have to have a limb on each bit of tape, if that makes sense. There's 3 bits of tape onto the volume, so you have 3 limbs on that. Right, we haven't seen this from her before. Right foot out, now wants to do the foot swap, but it's underneath herself. She's gonna have to sort of pop that right foot backwards and swap in the left. Oh, look for the toe hook underneath, but didn't need it.
She also did it no-handed. I think that's what setters thought people were gonna do. But I think she's the first one actually doing that sequence through that section.
Yeah, great balance from Camilla. Crimping that volume there.
I think she was crimping the screw hole of the volume.
Yeah. Ooh, bobbles off that foot. Mori used that foot as well. As a handhold, I mean. No, Hakume, that was a moment from earlier on. Yeah, it's a replay. Did that pretty quickly, but her only top so far. Camilla has 1 minute 15, as does Sophia. Adjusting the hands, trying to get some swing from the hips. Already got a zone, she'd love a top hit.
It's so interesting, we've yet to see any more people doing the swing with one hand on the jug and one hand on the start. So I thought we would be seeing maybe a couple more people there. Jabba goes again.
Oh, I'm sort of cringing at the skin element of this. She's using that slope, but she's crimping the back of it. Here's the heel.
She really wants it.
Oh. Turns that drag into a crimp on the right hand. Yeah, skin is a consideration. Remember, they have to compete again tonight. Of course, they won't leave anything out there. They'll give it everything, but for those who do progress.
Yeah, more runs go on. We see more people looking at their hands before they get on the border to see they're not bleeding.
Have you got sweaty hands right now? I do. I've got that. I always get it when I watch. Camilla with a different, oh, that looked painful. Yeah, as she fell there, it's the problem with those triangular volumes, just hit the inside of her leg as she came down. Hopefully she's all right. So leading the way is Zilu Lo. We haven't had all our athletes. She's got 2 tops, 1 flash. And you can check out the scores on the IFSC app. It's free to download. We will be showing you the scores as we go along. Mori is back. Now, having watched her swinging around before instead of failing, you wonder if she'll struggle on this, but it is a totally different style of swingy move.
On the women's 3?
Women's 3, yeah.
If she is going to struggle, I think she'll struggle on the top. I think she'll be hesitant and try to find a way to go static, but I don't think she'll have any hard time on the first few moves.
I don't think so either. But it is quite a long way, this first jump. She's trying to upgrade the feet. Standing right on the top of that volume. Out with the left, just catches it with the fingers. Gets the toe hook, and yeah, it is pretty powerful, this boulder. Changes feet to get to the crimp.
I wonder how she's going to do the last move, where she's going to commit to it or try to find her a way to go slow.
Oh, she wants to, doesn't she? She came down onto the volume.
I think she knows it's going to be easier if she jumps, but she wants to do a different way.
Oh, she's going to have to pop, surely. She does, slaps up with the left. The problem is, when you spend a lot of time like that trying to figure out a static move, sometimes the obvious way is the best way.
Yeah. But then it's also hesitant enough, maybe from the distance that she see. Also, it's really hard to have, like, come out of the drop knee to jump out to a hold.
So there's the score on the right. You can see how things currently stand as things change all the time. And down at the bottom of the scoreboard are the athletes who'll be out later on today.
Now we have Mashiro on the screen.
Yeah, she's one of 3 Japanese debutantes here, and we've all made it through to the semi-finals, which is pretty impressive, really.
Noah stuck the move, and she got the zone. But we saw Ryu not topping this border after sticking the zone, so we're kind of excited to see how Noah is going to try to get through this section here.
Right, up she goes, catches it with the right. And makes it work for the top.
I would say that's probably what setters intended on the last move. Zilu just had a crimp strength to kind of keep going.
Again, oh, look at this, another method. How she made that volume work, I don't know. We didn't catch it on camera, but...
I think she was trying to match the hold before and then cross into the slot crimp. That was the second last hold. Maybe that's what she tried this time. But either way, it looks like she'd have to jump to a finish. And it would be better if she did it both ends, so.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, whatever way she's going, she's still underneath that hold. I don't think she can press up to it. Right, Ryu, who was looking very tired, hasn't made the tuna work yet.
I think she just gassed herself out on the second border, like we were talking about earlier on the third border.
You'll have to go backstage and find out for us. Come on, let us know. Right, here is Masahiro.
She has yet to grab a zone. I wonder if she hasn't figured out the move through the first foot swap section here.
Underclinging that volume.
She's trying the method that Chaehyun was trying earlier.
She's going to do this dynamically, which is super risky, as you can see. That might work, though. I consider until she... huge fall off the top. Got the right hand through. I think that was the same method as she did the time before with the volume.
She only has 40 seconds. I wonder if she's going to try it again.
Oh, she was pretty close, eh? Well, Mori kind of needs this. I mean...
She's getting back in again. Cruising the bottom part of it.
Toe hook up, bumps with the left hand. There's a girl in front of us in the audience who's literally just jumping up and down. She's so excited. That's the kind of atmosphere that's here in the stadium. Really cool to see here. Mori left foot gets the right drilled into the pocket. Sets herself up for the jump.
Was a little too tired, I think.
Yeah, she's a bit disappointed there. Nods to the judges. Yeah, the reason I brought the girl I can see in front of us up is everyone in the audience is sitting and this girl is just jumping up and down. She must be 8 years old. Really cool to see. Right, Jessie Pilz is out. This is her... How many semi-finals has she made now? This is her 13th consecutive semi-final from Jessie Pilz.
30 consecutive?
Yep, 13 consecutive. She's the...
That's quite impressive.
Well, she joins Miho Nanaka in the most experienced climbers in this semi-final. Her first World Cup in 2012. Nanoha Kume gets a high toe hook.
This tuna is one of the holds that I wonder if like Japanese would have a little bit more experience with, because it's the Japanese hold called under blue. And they've recently started to get distributed by like other brands all over the place. But
yeah, so maybe a bit of an advantage, but it's fair enough. Oh, she's going to the non-texture bit, crimping it. Yeah, that tuna is only got friction in the middle of it. On the ends, there's none. Sophia powers her way through that move. Matches right hand up. She'll set herself for this jump. Up she goes, yes, from Sophia Yokoyama. Big smile on her face as she gets the top. Right, let's see if Camilla is feeling bouncy here as she swings back and forth. Pretty close, just missed with the left and right. There is Jessie Pilz, another Olympian. She will certainly have her eye on the next Olympics. Looking solid on that move.
that's what Masahiro and Chaehyun was trying, and it wasn't working. Maybe it's the difference of the size, because Jessie must be a little bit taller than them.
Yeah, I think you're right. So right foot up. Camilla's swinging on the right of your screen, pinching that volume, underclings it, and she's going towards that foothold as well.
But then I think this move is a little bit easier if you're a little bit shorter to stand on the volley.
Why is that? Just because you've got more legs to sort of push through?
It's more like you can get into a smaller box without being scrunched, and then it's going to be a little bit harder to stand back up and then get the right balance out. But once she grabs the hold, it'll be easier to get the foot around it, or maybe not.
Yeah, good description there. Jessie taped up on her right arm. That looks probably a potential scrape there. Just doesn't want to, because if any of the athletes bleed on the wall, they have to stop. They have to stop the bleeding.
Camilla has a different way of grabbing onto the jug, because everyone's grabbing into it like an undercling to swing, but then she was grabbing it like straight up.
Yeah, big shake of her head there. She looks at the clock. Nanoha on the tuners. Jessie Bilks on the slab. Lots of angles on this wall. You can see on that shot. That's for the route setters to play with.
I'm starting to feel that route setters are super evil to have this as a last border of the round.
So physical, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Nanoha there. And there's a point when you climb where it doesn't matter how long you rest, you're just burnt out. There's not a lot you can do. But
especially something like that border, that's just so physical that you give really one good attempt and then that's all you actually had. Camilla is so close on the coordination move now.
Yeah, she's a bit more of a smile on her face this time. Mm-hmm. You can tell, can't you, when an athlete sort of springs towards a brush or the chalk, how they're feeling, if they're kind of walking towards it in a sad way. Right, Jessie stands up into the sloper.
People who's been coming out now than earlier seems to have a harder time on the slab by the foot swap, and I wonder if it's like chalked up already to a point it feels slippery. Yeah,
and they turn the air conditioning on. Oh, sorry, Camilla jumps in. We'll talk about the air conditioning in a second. She comes into the underclings. Heel hooks.
Only got 10 seconds left though.
Yeah, she's going to have to motor here, which is good because it is a dynamic move. 7 seconds. She's going to just jump straight for it, I think. Now swats back down. No, she's going to run out of time. Oh, and bangs her head there. Immediately grabs it. I didn't see what she hit it on, whether it was as she landed or on a volume.
I think as she landed, it's quite high. Like the wall itself is quite high, and then the mats usually on the Fusion comps aren't that soft. Or maybe she hit it on the volume?
Yeah. Because I don't think she bounced her head off the mat. It seemed like a strike.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Camilla is okay. She'll go back to the isolation area in the back. Mia Krampel brushes that slab. She might have heard you speak, cleaning it properly. Now, Aimori desperately needs a top here. She looks so good on that slab and has struggled since then.
Yeah, from how the results are looking right now, the top is Zilu with 2 top and 4 zones. And if Aimori can catch up to her, then she'll be 2 tops and 3 zones.
Yeah, so risky times for her. Mia Krampel takes her time before she gets underway. She knows, she's such an experienced competitor, knows how important these flashes are. Oh, missed it the first time, now gets the grip with the right foot. Pressure through the toes as she stands up, presses down with the hands. Mia Krampel chalks up, really calm out there, composed as she creeps down slowly, slowly. Now looks more settled as she re-chalks up that left hand. Using her toes there just to try to find the balancing point as she brings it down. This is a really interesting bit of slab climbing from her. Just imagining how tight her core must be throughout this whole boulder. I'm breathing in sympathy. Left hand on the bottom of that sloper, then into the sloper. She's been on this boulder for an eternity here as she finds the thumb on the Oh, it's shaking that hand, you can see. Now gets the right foot on. Mia Krampel, a bit of a masterclass here. Chalks up once again, resting in the right places.
I think she's been on the wall for almost like 2 minutes.
Crazy amount of time. She's doing it. Nearly lost it there with the left foot. Nearly didn't eye Mori's star, but she's going to try to pop it instead. Oh, pressing down a pistol squat on that hold. Come on, Mia, I want this to happen. Uses the toe, one move away, trusts the right foot. She does get it done.
And it's a flash.
That was, yeah, a masterclass from her. Now, let's swap back to Ai Mori. She loses her feet on the tune-up.
She's not liking that slope right there.
No, one top and two zones. Masahiro swings. Falls down on the right, not finding the distance quite yet.
There was an interesting, again, different method of swinging because she landed left foot on the start foot and then landed her right foot on the next volley. Yukusa Noah, I think she flashed this one as well.
Yeah, very impressive from her. Slow start, but the next two she did quickly. So Ai Mori brushes up the second tune-up. Not quite sure what the brushing rules are here, because brushes seem to come on between the rounds but not during the rounds.
Yeah, I wonder if they have changed the rule over it.
Yeah, I'll try to find out. It's just something I've just noticed when Ai Mori was brushing it.
Or maybe they just forgot to ask, because for a few years you couldn't really ask for a brush.
Yeah, the COVID regulations in place. Right, Ai bumping up that left hand. Oh, it's a tiring way to do it. Gets a sort of semi-drop knee in with the right foot.
She looks so gassed.
Yeah, just hands on hips, breathing hard. 16 seconds to go. I mean, she's back on. I don't think it's going to be enough time, but I don't think she's got. Has she got the zone yet?
Yeah,
she has.
She has got the zone. I think she has got to the second tuna on her first attempt, and then fell without getting the second last hold.
See, there are brushes coming on between rounds, so yeah. Not sure. I'll find out. The sofa's on the left of the stage in that shot where the athletes come out. That is for the finals, where they'll be waiting once they've completed the boulders, and where we'll interview them as well. Finals starting tonight, around about 5 p.m. Well, 4:45 really, Japanese time. No idea what that is in other time if you're anywhere else in the world. Camila Maroni with 4 minutes 25. She gets started on this sequence. Matches the first crimp. Good from her. She swings down to the zone hold.
It's a different method again.
Yeah, bicycle with the foot there. Oh! Trying to bump off that toe is powerful. She looks at her fingers as well. Ooh. Selma Mouni from France is underway on the slab.
Is it her first time being in semi-final again?
Yeah, we'll just check the stats on that. Right, she's got the left foot on the jib, right down to the volume, presses it into the right hold.
Yeah, I think it's her first time World Cup event and her first time semi-final.
We're seeing so many new young athletes this year breaking through to the semis. It's a really good indication of who's in form at the moment and who's to watch for the future. And in fact, we're starting a series of athletes to watch. Hopefully you'll be seeing that on your screen soon.
That also means more names to remember for you, though, right?
Yes, I know, nightmare. But I interviewed Serato yesterday from the Japanese team.
Yeah?
Yeah, young Japanese male climber, really smashing his way onto the circuit. So, yeah, hopefully you'll see that soon. Selma drops down.
Sophia making a move towards the zone. Oh, look at the fight.
She loves a physical move, and that is pure power from her. Far back on that tuner as possible. That's where the good bit is, where it gets slightly flatter. Burnt out on the move to the crimp.
Maybe the heel hook, if Taba did it, was the way.
Maybe. It looked outrageous though, didn't it? Right, Jessie starting with the swing. She knows these moves, doesn't she? She can sense them immediately. Oh, you can see the scrape on the left arm, so I can only imagine the right arm's similar.
We didn't catch it on the screen, but she swung into the volume and she missed it with her feet. So she like landed into the volume with her upper body earlier on the second border.
Yeah, I totally missed that. So that's a new injury on that left arm. Nasty. Looks like road rash on her arm. Camilla Moroni is looking tired out there on the mats.
I think the second border is really getting the people. Because coordination move looks like it's not that physical, but you're using your core, arms, and legs all at the same time, and also your brain. So it must tire you out quite a bit.
That tires me out a lot. Jessie Piltz, left foot, heel hook with the right. Made her way through that coordination move.
I wonder if she's gonna try the Zulu way.
Oh.
No.
Drops the final hold, but her composure is still there with a minute to go. Sophia is still flinging herself at this boulder. Yeah, I think she's getting super tired out there as well.
She had a really good attempt earlier by sticking it down.
Interesting method from Camilla there, using the hips to rock into the double toe hooks. Missing the slap out, and I think that could be her done. Yeah.
Okay, the other people made the toe hook move easy, but...
Oh, sorry, I got overexcited. I thought it was a top. It's not, it's a zone. Left foot up, 12
only got
seconds.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is
so
going
it's
to
going to be tight. Oh.
Bobbles with the feet. I was watching the feet and you could see it just pop off.
Like what you were saying earlier, Slav as the first border you have to face in the semi-final. Could be a really good start or could be a nightmare.
Yeah, it really depends on styles, doesn't it? Noah Shiran is on her last boulder. And we see Hannah Moyle. Out onto the mats, cleaning up that volume. So all the boulders about to be climbed, everyone just taking their moment to check it out, look at it, clean the holds.
Yeah, athletes do have 5 minutes on the clock, but they usually spend a good minute to read the boulder and then brush them from a previous climber to give the first and best attempt. So they do really have like 4 minutes like they do in the final.
Yeah, and flash is so important, especially as we get to the end of this competition. You'll see the athletes getting things done. Natalia Grossman especially is such an expert at flashing boulders. Right, Mia Crumpel, who was uber impressive on the slab, now has to turn her attention to this coordination move, starting the swing. Thought about a high foot for a second just to push off.
It's such a rapid change of a style, and I would have such a hard time like adjusting from a slow slab. You have to spend 2 minutes on the wall. into something that's like you just swing out and then.
So I said Hannah Moyle earlier. I didn't mean to say Hannah Moyle. Lucia Dorfel is out on the mats. One of 2 German athletes. And she's wearing the armband in memory of Christoph, part of the German team, who sadly passed away recently. And we will be holding a minute's silence for him during the men's final. Right, Mia starts this swing. Once more, trying to find the range on this move. Oof.
She's having a hard time getting the right swing into.
Yeah, and that's going to be tiring as well. She had to swap the movement, stop the movement mid-swing. Lucia stands up once again on the slab. Palm down. She presses through. Oh. My eyes were focused on that foot swap there.
I think that's what Zilu did the first climber out in the semifinal, and we are yet to see another person doing that.
Masahiro, no zones and no tops for her. Remember, her first World Cup, so impressive just to get through the semi-final, but she'll want something on the scoreboard.
From what I've seen, like her performance at the gyms, she's definitely capable of doing that women's 3. I think it's about whether she can dial in.
All right, Lucia again with the foot swap. Watch that left foot. Last time it, oh, gets the toe underneath it, almost stopped the fall.
She probably stuck it once. That's why she's trying to do the same move again and again. Because you only have 1 minute on the clock and you don't want to risk it by giving another attempt to do something different.
Yeah, it's that endless battle, isn't it? Which beater is right? Is it the right beater? Remember, the athletes do not know. They haven't seen these climbs before. And they haven't seen other athletes on them either, so they can't learn from someone else. Mia Krampel hasn't got the zone yet, starts to swing again. Misses that left hand. 30 seconds on the clock. Ooh. Drops the first move to the pocket. Everyone looking tired out there.
Noah just looks really tired.
Every time my camera flicks, an athlete looks more exhausted on the screen. Lucia stands up into the slab. She made the foot swap work, we think. Didn't quite catch that. Palming on the hold, gets into the dish now. Oh,
it's like similar to Selma, because they only had like 10 to 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, when you hear those beeps, it's one of the most stressful things. I get stressed hearing those beeps, so I can't imagine what they feel.
Yeah, especially when they are the move away from the finish. We have had buzzer beat though, where people finish within 3 seconds left.
Yeah, love that moment.
Usually not on the slab though.
True. Right now, Hannah Moyle is out onto the mats. What a season she had last year as well. Just broke through multiple podiums from her. Camilla Moroni, well, another one looking tired. Tries to pump herself up though for this first move.
Sitter really played well with the order of the boulders, I'd have to say. Because I would say if this was our first boulder, we would see probably a few more tops, but then we would see less tops on the slab, or maybe the second one. So it's really hard to see, was this actually the best order we could have ever chosen?
It's always a gamble, isn't it? Camilla, though, looking great on this. One move away, she gets the heel. Has she got something in her fingers for the crimp? 4 zones so far. Oh.
That must be heartbreaking.
It really has got to. Oh, but top from Jessie. Awesome work. Quickly done, looking still very composed.
Could have been a flash, I think.
Yeah, we'll wait for the scores.
Yeah, I think it's flash.
So this is the replay of it. 2 hands up, held the swing. Interesting. She allowed herself a moment of a smile then, and straight back to the concentration. Hannah Moyle stands up.
She kind of stood up dynamically this time. But then she's having the same issue Ryu Nakagawa had earlier, where she's...
Oh, that's impressive, isn't it?
Maybe not. I was going to say she was having a hard time finding the balance.
Well, it was certainly a different method.
Thank you.
So Hannah presses up underneath. Look at that undercling towards the top. She's going to... Oh! About to say she might do that statically. Oh, yeah, took a nasty fall there.
That's what the hesitation is like. You want to hesitate as much as you can, but then that also kind of puts you into a higher risk of slipping.
Yeah, it's like, where's that moment where you go for it, you know, and she just decided to go for it when the foot bobble happened.
Because that's when you start pressing with the foot that you want to kick off of, but then that's also when your foot is tired or in the wrong position, because when you decide to commit, you kind of forget about, oh, I need to replace where my foot needs to be into the right place. I think that's what we see a lot in slab climbs at competitions.
Well, you can see the scores on the right of the screen now. Jiu-Lulu still leading the way. Noah Sharan, Aimori is up there. Jessie Piltz, Sophia Yokoyama. Remember, things might change. A lot of athletes to go and some big names. Miho Nanaka out last. So we'll see how that scoreboard develops.
I guess we have 6 more people who can actually change what the top 6 looks like.
Yeah, never make your prediction. I've learned that. Right, Camilla came so close just now, rocking up with the heel on the second tuner.
She was so close in the first attempt, and I think she rested the whole time until it's almost a minute left. And this will probably be her last attempt.
Yeah, the finger strength that she needs for this move, that crimp is not great. Out to it, makes it work. Oh,
she
gritting
was
her
so
teeth.
close on the last move.
Oh, the heel goes. Oh. Well, Camilla has called it a day. She's leaving the mats. I think she's out. Right, Hannah as well was another one. Just inches away from getting this done. Pressing her way through into the sloper.
She knows that she doesn't have a time to do another attempt.
Yeah, this is it.
She's choosing to press. I wonder if she can find the right balance.
This is kind of what Aimori did, pressing with that left. She does, but she nearly messed it, went for the 2.
Oh, look at that drop knee for the finish. Amazing top from...
She nearly missed that pocket. I think she went for the mono and then changed to the 2 fingers at the last second. I don't know, we'll have to see it again, but good work from Hannah Moore. And that, to me, is kind of what makes a champion. You know, when you come that close, you reset, you start again. It's an athlete's mindset. That was the high drop knee in order to make that match. Right, Melody Sikikawa comes on now. Another one of our 3 Japanese debutantes. 15 years old, right?
Crazy. She grew up up north in Japan, but then decided to start training at where Futaba is from. And she's been looking at Futaba and like being on the same stage since she was maybe like 7 or 8. So she's come a long way, and I hope she does really well.
Yeah, another Japanese athlete trying to make a play to get into the team, to get selected on a regular basis. Because so often at these World Cups, we see different rotation of Japanese athletes.
Yeah. We never really see the exact same members ever.
No, and they're all amazing. It's just unfair. So much talent here in this country. And you go to the gyms here, as I've done a few times, and you realize why they're so good. The boulders you guys have are so unique, so interesting.
I think it's because we have smaller space and we have shorter walls. We have to be a little bit creative with the movement. And we are also shorter in general, the height-wise.
So you reckon it just teaches you different methods of movement and styles?
I think so. And then lately I noticed that Japanese people tend to lack a little bit in power compared to maybe American athletes, let's say.
There's a big clap there from Mia Krampel, who topped a boulder. We're going to stick with Melody, though, for the meanwhile. Looking calm as she gets a full left foot up. You can see Hannah Moyle's shadow there on the stage, swinging and missing. Now this is interesting. Crouches down, then changes her mind. Ooh, that foot swap. I haven't seen many people nail that. It's a hard move.
I think Hannah ended up doing that move.
Really tricky. She's straight back on the slab. Right, this was Mia Krampel's top. That was the cheer we heard. Got the drop knee in. Match that up. Volume, and then big double jump up. No hesitation from Mia Krampel. Two tops. One boulder to go. Two flashes as well. Just that boulder number 2. Well, Lucia, sorry, I keep saying Hannah Moyle Lucia. Mixed up by the shadows in the red and black. Misses the coordination move, getting closer and closer though. Bumping up now with the hand. Masahiro.
She does look a little exhausted.
She starts this swing again.
I think the beginning of the swing is where they have a hard time finding the right direction to swing towards.
Right, onto the slab. Let's see how she works this out. Spent quite a lot of time in this middle part of the boulder. Ooh, nearly.
She did have a time to kind of adjust the foot placement. We yet to see what Futaba did, which was like falling over to the next volley all the way so that you can press the jib that's in the corner of the volley.
Yeah, and they're kind of similar heights as well, so maybe she'll think about it. That foot swap is not working for her at the moment. Might need to reset this. Masahiro again into the first tuner.
It's so high profile and it's so slopey. I don't know if you've grabbed it before.
No, it's not a hold I'm familiar. Like I've seen similar holds, similar styles of hold, but yeah, I had a long look at that this morning, trying to kind of work it out.
It does have a, like, not in cut, but a curve for your hands to hold on to, but it's just so far in, so it's really hard to match.
So the further into it you go, the better it is, almost. Ooh, nearly comes back into the wall there. 14 seconds. Well, her first semi-final. Good work. Unfortunate not to get on the scoreboard, but she'll learn from that and come back. Right, next rotation, and Natalia Grossman will be out next. Countdown to the next round begins. Hannah Moyle on the swing. Natalia Grossman lays the towel down on the floor. It's just to protect the feet from any chalk or dirt on the surface. And as you said, with this many athletes coming through, the boulders do get a bit dirty and a bit more slippery. Natalia looked good yesterday. Palms through the slab, right foot on. So we presume there's going to be some kind of a foot swap here, but she's going to rock down, maybe palming onto that hold. Yeah, she does. Really stretched out, though. Now she's going to do a foot swap. Gets it done, really precise from Natalia. Works that right foot onto the jib.
Look at her right leg shaking.
So much pressure through the legs into the feet on a slab like this. She's trying to bump that left. Oh, I don't know what she was holding on to there with the left, but got it.
How is she holding on to that?
I have no idea. Look at the feet as well. Sort of penguin style on that volume. Now, how's she going to figure out this last sequence? Thumb down to chalk up with the left hand. Why not? Right, she's going to pop for it. Had she got the accuracy? Nearly, nearly. Went kind of middle finger in there. Right, Jessie Pilz. Has she got any power left? Gets the knee bar in. Tricky into the first tune-up. Hannah, though, is through the coordination move. Now, this has proven problematic for so many climbers. Bit of a Hannah Moyle signature, that, with the heel. Eyeing up this. So you can see what she's thinking. She's trying to bump out to the black one and then catch the purple with the right hand to stop the swing.
I think the difference Noah did when she topped, she did the flip, but her body was really low because she didn't heel hook. But putting the heel hook up on the jug makes your body stay so high to a point where it's like it's really hard to flip back.
Because there's more swing from the legs from higher up, yeah. Yeah, good point there.
Talia back in the zone again. I wonder if she's going to try to go slow in the last move this time.
Oh, falls back. Jessie might have burnt out here a bit. You can see the veins standing out on her arm. Just, it's so physical, the sequence of boulders. From that slab on, really, it's all power.
Yeah.
And there is Camila Moroni, standing next to Laura, talking through, just shaking her head at some of the climbs. Hannah with that run and jump start, almost headbutting the first hold. Oh, that's some real contact strength there from Hannah. 1 minute buzzer though, the heart will beat faster as she chalks up. Now she tried the heel last time, and as May pointed out, creates way more of a swing. Might be keeping her toes low this time, let's see. No, she does do the heel, right, so this is going to require a lot of power to make it work.
Maybe she releases.
Let's see it, slaps out, falls.
I wonder if it's possible for them to cross into the black hold before the flip?
With the heel in?
Without the heel in.
Without the heel, okay.
With 15 seconds left on the clock, Natalia's back on the wall.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has the time to go through this move.
Oh, climbing quickly, nearly lost the feet, does lose the feet this time. Well, it's a zone, and no top for Natalia. Our stadium filling up nicely. You're watching the semi-finals if you're just joining us, and if you're just joining us, where have you been? It's been fantastic so far. Interesting boulders, good separation as well through the top 6 at the moment. Ayala Karem is out. Israeli member number 2 on the mats. And Mia Krampel has her final boulder. Ella heavily taped up on that right leg. Sort of a double tape. One down the back, one across. Right, Mia Krampel spent 45 seconds just kind of looking at this. Now she pulls on. Her kind of a boulder, this power moves, physical sequences. As we've seen, it just depends on energy levels at this point in the comp.
And I think she took her time to kind of be ready for it, because she must know that you can't really get many attempts into this boulder.
You can see her in the background there, climbing through the yellow. There she is. Comes out onto the crimp.
I think it's Lucia's first attempt. Oh, she does the Aimori method here.
Yeah, into that bottom of the volume, then jumps, but you got it wasn't quite high enough. You've really got to crimp through that. Ella spread out on the wall, looking down at her feet, full concentration, willing some friction into those shoes, and a big puff of breath there. Brought the right up quickly, can't make it work.
Different type of swing. She's swinging sideways and making it close enough.
Yeah, it was working for her.
I would say she's a little bit more of a coordination-y climber than a slow, steady climber. But she grew up in a spray wall, so I would say she's also kind of a powerful coordination-y climber.
Out of the pram, onto the spray wall. Yeah, spray walls, we see so many Slovenian athletes training on those as well. It does work.
It does work. You can train for lead, you can train for bouldering.
A spray wall, if you don't know, is just a sort of a wall usually overhanging where you just throw holes at it. It's covered in holes and you can make up your own routes, moves, it's sort of endless possibilities. Especially useful when you haven't got a lot of space.
She made it work this time.
Yeah, dances it up there, right. Pushing through with the right toes. Now slowly towards the slope, a palm on the wall. Into the underclink. Left hand into the dish. So we're looking for some kind of a foot swap here, or bringing that left foot in, stands on top of the triangular volume, out to the right foot. One move away now. Ooh.
I wonder what she's going to try. Oh, she's turning into a push method, which has worked for most people so far.
Oh, I mean, Aimori made that work. Oh, the toe just sticks, just. She knows how close that was. Woohoo. Right, first top. Pointing to someone in the crowd, possibly Alex Kazanov, who she trains with regularly. Lucia's top.
But she didn't do the cross move this time and jump straight up.
Yeah, it's the obvious method, it's the simplest one, but it is the most consistent so far. Mia Krampel fighting to the death here, 45 seconds to go. Melody swinging back, as you said, different style of swing.
She sticks it, but she's only got 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, this could be her one and only attempt at this top.
She knows that she doesn't have a lot left.
She looks at the heel, drops into the purple.
Oh. That's what I mean. Maybe if you can cross over to the black with your right hand first off the underclink, instead of trying to go with your left hand. But all the holes are on your left side, so it makes sense that you want to go with your left hand.
Yeah, tricky route reading on that top sequence, I think. Only 3 athletes left in this semi-final before we start winding things down. Coming up to 12:35 here in Japan. Brooke Rabatu onto the stage. Immediately grabs the brush, cleaning up those footholds. She'll know how important it is. Second she will have seen that slab, it will have been right, let's clean that thing up. Hannah Moyle, also doing a cleaning job. Selma on her boulder at the end. Right, Natalia tends to eat these coordination moves for breakfast. Let's have a look at how she finds this.
She does the same kind of a swing and Melody was doing.
Ooh.
She didn't even use the first hold.
Didn't need it. Right, Brooke stands up. Now, everyone remembers Brooke on the slab in Salt Lake City a couple of years ago.
Standing up on the boat hole.
Exactly, yeah.
We do still talk about that when we were studying.
No one really thought it was possible until she did it. Creeps down with the right palm. Team USA so supportive always. You can hear their shouts from the audience.
It's interesting how, like, Natalia and Brooke both chose the exact same method. And also Lucia and Hannah chose the same method to go through the slab problem. And I wonder if it's the nationality thing.
Yeah, it could be just training methods. And Hannah made quick work of Boulder 3, by the way. We stick with Brooke. She looks for a cross, which is super awkward, as Natalia pulls on once again in the background. Oh, it's a scary move, that, palming down like that. Oh, catches it though, all on that right hand palm.
I don't know how she's going to recover off of that.
Oh no! She lost that boulder and saved that boulder so many times before she finally fell.
Yeah, one foot slip can be super crucial on the slab border.
Well, that answers our brushing question. They can ask for a brush.
Yeah.
They just haven't been.
They just don't remember anymore.
Natalia looking frustrated at this swing.
She did say on her Instagram that she's been focusing on lead lately. So maybe the coordination move is one of the least things you can do on a lead.
Yeah, it's true. We rarely see them on a lead wall, so yeah, maybe she's not quite in that training. This was Hannah Moyle from earlier. Read that quickly, got it done fast. And that's put her right up to the top of the leaderboard with one boulder to go. She's second place at the moment. Natalia getting closer. Well, I want to see if Brooke does this move again, because that was crazy before. Brings the left foot onto the volume, right foot up again, not standing on anything yet, trying to match hands a foot. There is the leaderboard, so Hannah Moyle, as I said, bump right up to the top. And our top 6 possibly starting to take shape here. Mori slowly going down that board. Sophia Yokoyama has been pushed out. Jessie Piltz is in the danger zone in 6th place. Brooke again will bring that left foot down, finds the palm first of all. She has to do this awkward match to her foot. Oh, bumps it up. Better from her though. Now also can take a moment just to chalk up.
She's got 45 seconds left on the clock.
Oh no, loses it.
And goes right back on. Selma on her last border. She does look exhausted. She does also look strong.
She does, doesn't she? Right, into the zone with a crimp. Only really 2 crimps on this last boulder. That hold, the zone hold, and then this last one, which Camilla came so close to getting earlier.
I think it's just... Oh.
I know, it's a skin, eh?
In the match.
Yeah. Natalia wants that zone. She's not going to get it, though. And Brooke as well, didn't get a top.
It's always fascinating when the first person who came out on the mat on the semi-final round is sitting on the first.
Yes, good point. And it's another lesson never to write off the people coming on first, because, I mean, so many of these athletes are kind of interchangeable in terms of position, depending on the set of boulders, how they're feeling on the day. Lucia has her final boulder. Nano Matafuji from Japan comes on.
She did amazing performance in the qualification yesterday with 5 tops, 5 flashes.
Yeah, really strong from her. So will she continue that flash form? You can see her there on the left of your screen. Naila in the middle. Nearing the end of our competition, only Miho Nanaka to come out onto the mats. There is Anon. So 5 out of 5 yesterday. Right foot straight to the jib. Confident stuff on this slab for her first boulder. Ooh, tried for the foot swap, managed to save it, brought it back in, tries it again. Oh, brings the right foot backwards to stop the swing, but doesn't quite work.
It did look almost working.
Oh, Melody gets the massive jump.
That must have been a flash for her, I believe.
Yeah, she was sitting in 16th. She'll be bumped up after that. Let's watch that again. So this is from the middle part. Right hand on the crimp. Set herself up for the jump. Bit of a drop knee. And then the pop. Moves her up to 11th. Anon now needs to work out this foot swap. She's got the palm on though, has more of a chance this time. Although as you said, the route setters did say it might be a no hands move, so a lot of people, we haven't really seen that no hands method from many.
Yeah, I think all the holds are low for your feet, but they look close enough for your hands to reach out.
See her bumps up the tuner. Goes to the right-hand side of it. Yeah, shrugging her shoulders. Doesn't quite know how to get through that first sequence yet. Got 2 minutes 20 though, plenty of time to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier to match the first tuner if you did the heel hook on the first hold, but then it's going to be super hard to come out of it.
That is the tuner in question. Ayala gets through the coordination move. Now we know this middle sequence has been pretty okay for most into the zone, but this last move really hard. Thinks about the heel, changes it to a toe, pressing into the volume. All the time the arms are burning.
That's what I was talking about.
There we go, finally, someone has heard you. Oh, still that bump sequence though left. Drops down, but can't get the balance. See it, pressing with the knee. Sometimes moves like that just feel impossible, you know, and if you're in a gym, you're surrounded by people at similar levels, someone can point something out, you can figure it out together, but it's a lonely place out there on the mats when you can't work out a move.
Yeah, it makes such a big difference when you can climb with other people to figure out one boulder at a time.
What's a down climb there from Anon? Yeah, you're right, it's that beta thing, you know, and it's hard to figure it out, and if you haven't tried it, go to your local wall, give yourself a time limit and try to figure out a boulder. It's harder than you think. Oh, again with the move.
She has enough time to take it slow and make that top move work.
Does the cross through again. Oh, and a toe hook on the zone briefly. Such a difficult coordination move, that. 15 seconds. It's not going to be enough. In fact, all three of our remaining athletes have called it a day. They leave. And the brushers get to work. Three people holding down the chair. Safety first. I haven't seen anyone on that chair yet. Maybe I've missed it.
I think it's the blood, isn't it?
Might be the blood, yeah. But I haven't seen anyone with a chair out on the mat.
Yeah.
There she is. Miho Nanaka enters the stage. Qualified in first place for today's semi-final and looking very focused.
I think this is kind of a round she was looking for, because I was talking to her yesterday and she was like, I just want a harder round. I'm looking for a hard round where I get like punched in my face.
Is that what she said? Well, there we go. May, you're good friends with Miho. You've climbed with her a lot. How is she feeling coming into this season? Is she in good shape? Is she feeling confident?
I'm not sure about how confident she is about her performance, but she does look quite consistent with the training, and then she does look super strong. It's just if she can dial things in any round, she could cruise all the moves. That if something goes wrong a little bit, then she kind of loses it. So,
well,
and she does have sweaty hands.
We watched Natalia Grossman there make really quick work of Boulder 3.
You can probably see her fingerprints soon.
I didn't know that about Miho Nanaka. Thank you. That is expert knowledge there. Did she do anything about it? Is she a sort of anti-hydral person?
I don't know. Whenever I ask her about her slab board that she did on top, she goes like, my hands are way too sweaty. So maybe it's just what she always says and she's not that sweaty, but it's also she tends to be last or second last person to come out on the semi-final round or the final rounds.
Oh, trying to stand on the top of that slab. Right, Brooke gets through the coordination move. And she's going to do this heel hook, or at least to chalk up on. Now comes down, she's going to do your cross, mate. The May cross. Oh, statically reaches out. Oh, so powerful. Drops back down. She's going to want to shake out after that.
I think that's what Zilu did, though. She like didn't have to flip.
It was so long ago, I cannot remember.
I think she did the toe hook that Ayala was trying to do earlier.
Oh, Brooke made.
Oh.
Yeah, she made the sort of the slap early on then, did Brooke. I thought that was going to work for a second. There's our leaderboard. Hannah Moore at top. She got zone on Boulder 4. She's still on the mat. She's just sitting down, resting, shaking out just on the edge of your screen. As Miho comes back on. Careful with the feet, just being precise with that. Now creeps down towards the volume. Palm onto the chip, nearly loses the feet, somehow keeps it together. We've seen so many athletes almost lose that move and lose it. Miho just managed to find the right foot. Up into the press, and then the right foot goes, and yeah, that was close to being a painful one.
It's like what you were saying earlier when Brooke was trying the first border. Like, you can fall on any move, any foot adjustment on that slab border.
Yeah, it just spits you off without warning, doesn't it? And it can be a bit scary. It can get into your head sometimes with a move like that. Oh, Hannah stretches up towards the crimp.
Brooke goes back on the top of this woman's two again. Curious what she's going to try to do next.
Left, right, catches it. Brilliant from Brooke Rabbity. A zone and a top, and that is going to, well, immediately, as you can see, bump her up the scoreboard.
We have almost 30 seconds left on the clock, and Miho's the only one left on the wall.
Yeah, she's in that position in the spotlight, which she's been so many times before.
I would say could be enough time. She can stand up quick.
Oh, she tried to. She heard you, but 17 seconds, she's going to finish it there. Hands on the hips as she walks away. Yeah, I wondered, we started discussing air conditioning earlier, and then I got distracted. But it's when I walked in this morning, it was boiling hot in this stadium, and they switched on the aircon, and it's now freezing cold, but good conditions for the athletes.
And luckily, it is a little bit colder outside today, Japan, but it might be better condition than yesterday. Yesterday was super warm.
It was super warm, yeah. Right, the brushes leave. Slab number 1 we won't see any longer. We say goodbye to that beast. Ayala has a long look at probably the easiest boulder out there, but still very difficult. And Melody as well, trying to save some energy. She knows she hasn't got many attempts on that. Good shot of the angles on this wall. Right, into the pockets. One arms it, crosses through. Smooth. As she comes to the zone hold, finds the toe hook, locks that in, bumps up onto the sloper. Again, careful with the feet, don't stand on the wrong bit of that texture. Right hand, will she just go for this jump? She is, sets herself up for it. Flash attempt, can she make it work? Tries to bump the hand, changes. Jumps, gets the left hand on, but not the right.
Nothing related to her performance, but I really like Ayala's chalk bag.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't looked at it. I'll keep an eye out this time. Usually I notice things like that. I've been reticent.
It looks super goofy.
Anand with a brilliant coordination move there.
She is also another kind of coordination kind of person.
She's going to do the cross as well. So interesting how the last athletes who are coming out are all doing the same way. Gets the toe. This is really impressive. And a toe. Wow, that was impressive stuff. And on Matsufuchi, second go through that.
I'm really happy to see her doing so well on the wall, because she had like a big lower back injury last year, and she couldn't really compete for a while, but she stayed super patient and then focused on her physical training instead of bouldering.
Okay.
And I think that's what bumped her up into the top of the stage.
Interesting. So stayed away from the climbing, stuck with the physio. I did notice Ella's chalk bag that time. I have seen it before.
You have seen it before.
I have seen it before, and I've commented on it before. And I still haven't been sent one, so what's going on? Right, Ayala tries to work this out. Last time she went for this method that we've seen the most success on, right hand on the crimp, now sets for the jump.
Can she go with 2 hands?
Closer, she couldn't bring the right through last time.
I think she's just not liking the right foot that she is jumping off of.
Yeah, it just doesn't look comfortable, does she? You can see the adjustments she's making there. You're right, every time, and then just too far back. But that's an interesting moment. Sort of had a sort of a downer moment, pulled herself back together. You can see just taking a breath. But that's what you got to do. You got to let it go. Try again.
Because she does know she wants this border. Melody going back. She's yet to get the zone.
So many people fall on that knee bar.
That's the thing about the tuna. Higher you go, the more stable you feel with one hand, but harder it is to match your right hand into it, because you're so far off from the foot that you want to be like you're moving off of. Ayala goes back on super quick.
Yeah, she is quick. Right, just goes for this jump once again. This time makes it work. Pulls it back in.
That's the mental game right there too.
It really is, and it's something she's developed. Like, I remember her getting sort of a bit down on herself, getting frustrated. It's just something has clicked for her in the last couple of years, and she's, yeah, looking really impressive at the moment.
Melody looking a little frustrated here.
Yeah, 45 seconds to go, not long. Right, pulls on to the start again. limb on each one of those pink taped holds into the knee bar. Athletes not allowed to wear actual knee bars in competitions. And you can see how bruised up that left leg is from various knee bars throughout the competition. 5 seconds to go, we'll get our rotation. Brushes are on. There's one of our crane cams there. There's 2 of them, 1 on each side of the stage. That's that elevated shot you can see right now. Miho runs back onto the stage. Eyes up this jump again. Very experienced. She's her 45th World Cup in bouldering for Miho Nanaka. Brooke Rabatu will start her swing into the pockets, gets a high right foot, left hand, starts this swing. You're right, it is a monkey bar start. It's like when you're a kid at the playground, that kind of a move. Brooke super confident through the bottom part of the route. Matches, all crosses with the left hand though. So this is the alternative method for this boulder. Right foot in the pocket. The big jump with the right. And Brooke, I mean, that's impressive because the volume gets in the way of that left hand as you come through.
And you have to go around it, and then the right side is tipped to be a little higher to get the enough distance. And Natalia also on the side was making it to like almost second last hold of the women's number 4.
It's a good progress from the American athletes. And Brooke just never hesitated throughout that boulder. Right, Miho starts the swing.
I think Miho's finding.
She's facing the wrong way currently.
I think she's just.
That's. Yeah, it looks so strange to be swinging backwards. Japanese coaches looking on a bit nervously. Right, Natalia, yeah, as you said, she got to that second tuner above the zone last time. Up to the crimp, easy for her. Onto the tuner. Hits the sweet spot with the right hand near the non-friction surface. You can see fingers just dancing with that texture. Drops down. And asks for a brush. Mori gets pushed out of the top 6.
Is Natalia and Brooke only 2 people asking for a brush?
Yeah, clearly they've remembered, no one else has. I mean, the thing is, it does take more time. Like, by the time you've called the brushes up, they got it on, but in a moment like this where she needs to rest anyway, you might as well get someone else to do the brushing. Sometimes it's a bit of a, I've talked to some people and they say it's not a superstition thing, but it's kind of, they want to do their own brushing, you know. It's like, it's that mindset that I know I've done it properly. Yeah,
I do remember a few athletes asking for brush, but taking the brush away from their brushers and then brushing the hole the way they want to. Miho's getting the right swing into it now.
Yeah, facing the right way.
She did like 5 steps in that volume, she just landed.
We switch back to Natalia, who chalks up once more. Liquid chalk on. She's really resting this time. She knows that it's such a powerful boulder. She came close. It's not like she needs to work out the sequence. She's kind of got that down, so now it's just a case of putting it together. It's a long, long look at the boulder. In the background, you just saw Miho nearly get to the through the coordination move. Natalia resting through. There's the tuner.
I think you really only need maybe a minute or 45 seconds to top this tuner boulder.
Yeah, this is where experience starts to come in, because she's resting right up to the minute mark, isn't rushing her way through it. Right, fighting now, Natalia, snatching at these moves.
Cruising through it.
Oh, loses the foot though. Well, 30 seconds to go. I think she's going to finish, so Miho will be left alone once more on the mat.
She does look frustrated.
Yeah, she's kind of getting further away, and she's going to call it. Japanese coach is looking nervous. There was Alex Kazanov in the background. Mentioned him earlier. Right, we have this transition period just to make sure the athletes don't bump into each other on the way out. 4 seconds to go. Ayala on her final boulder. Let's hope she's not too burnt out from that big jump on women's boulder 3. Has a long look at the boulder, resting, checking it out, making sure she knows the sequence. Anon as well, who's so impressive on boulder 2. Can she do the similar kind of thing on women's 3? She's currently in 16th, needs more tops. Left hand into the pocket, cruising through this first swing, eyes up the next hold. Now finally has a foothold as she comes up into the side pull. Finds the crimp. Now what will she do? Method 1, method 2. Looks like method 1. Oh, that's about as close as you can get, surely. Perhaps slightly more to the side, trying to press it rather than on top of it, but very, very close from Manon. Let's watch that again. So set herself up quickly. Yeah, just a little bit further on that. I think she's got it. A little bit of a smile as she looks up. Ella with a high heel. Ooh, what's she crimping there? And again, just takes a moment to herself. She looks out towards the clock. And no more rest. She knows she's got this in the bag if she can put it together.
It looks like if you have 2 tops in the 3 zones, you are secure into the final. Because Hannah and Zilu are into the final, right?
Yeah, they're through.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannah Moore jumped up the leaderboard with that final zone. But as you can see, the leaderboard changes a lot still in the dying parts of this comp. High left hand into the right hand crimp, drops the knee. Came so close last time, tries to upgrade the left hand. Oh, but pops off. That's the problem with moving that left hand up, is you move from the jib, which is good, onto a sort of slopey section.
I think because she didn't get enough distance, she wanted to go a little bit higher, but that also made her more unstable to jump off. So I wonder what she's going to choose on her next attempt.
Ella Krem looks at the clock. She's still resting. 1 minute 42 to go. Also using the towel to protect the feet. She comes up into the sloper. It's like a font-style hold, that right hand. Slopey and rounded. Bumping up the tuner now with the knee in. Finds the sweet spot. You can see the handprints left on that tuner.
And also the knee prints.
Yeah. Crowd really getting into this now. They're a little bit quiet at the beginning, but they're starting to ramp up here in the stadium. Anon swinging. She's got 50 seconds on the clock. Lost the left hand last time. Quick micro shake out with the right as she comes into the crimp. Foot on the very top of that volume. Pops, gets it. Good work from Anon. Celebrates in style.
I wonder what that bumped her up to.
Yeah, we wait for the scoreboard to be updated. So last couple of athletes, let's see a replay. This was this top. Kept the left hand on that left foot. Oh no, didn't, sorry, upgraded the left hand to the top bit. That's where she popped before. This time, no such problems. And Matsufuji gets it done. Right, here we go. The clock ticks down as Miho Nanaka runs out. Brooke Rabatu, her coach Josh Larson, just walks from his seating position towards the front of the stage as Brooke runs on. How does Miho, do you know, choose her colour of her hair? Is it a spur of the moment thing? Do you know?
I think it's just like what she felt like at the moment thing.
I've seen her with so many different colours of hair over the years.
A couple of years ago, we did have like a same kind of a pace to dye our hair into the same color.
Okay.
To a point where people started to see Miho on the screen, and a little kid I was teaching back then, they were like, "Oh, that's May climbing."
Well, here she goes, powering her way up to the crimp.
Oh,
drops back down. Interesting. Oh, that's, yeah, she's going to change that one.
Oh.
Yeah, he kind of came into the double side pull and then changed her beater, and Brooke came very close to that boulder as well on her final climb. Coming to the end of the women's semi-final here. We get a couple of hours off, and then at about 4:45 the women's final will begin Japanese time. Brooke sits on her heels, looking up at the boulder, figuring out the sequence. Let's watch a replay of her. She got the heel, up with the right crimp, and then the rock starts. Watch the left heel. Just not quite with the reach on it. But she's just pointing out she's really taking her time with, well, not her time, but the brushers taking their time. And Miho wants the crowd behind her. Right, she starts to swing easy through this first moment. It looks so effortless when it's good, doesn't it? Big jump from Miho Nanaka, nails the top of that hold. Well, she wanted the crowd behind it, she got it. Everyone enjoying that moment here in the stadium.
There goes Brooke again. Getting in the same move. Can she make another few inches up to finish?
Oh, she needed the reach, still doesn't quite have it.
Do you think it's where she placed a heel hook? Do you think it's a little too far left?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's going to be that stretch thing, isn't it? Because that moment where she's at the ultimate sort of limit of her reach, that's when the heel loses, because she's got the least weight through it. So yeah, maybe bring it a bit closer.
But then that also makes it harder to get to the second last hold.
Yeah, you're more scrunched up, aren't you? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that heel. Again.
I would love to see a top of this water, because we've yet to see anyone top this water.
Yeah, Camilla Moroni, I think, was probably the closest.
But I think if Tabaito, Brooke, and Camilla, they all fall on the same move where they were reaching out to the finish, but they weren't quite there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how far up you've got to go to hit the texture part of the hold, those rounded bumps on the surface of the hold. Everyone popping the heel when they use that method. Brooke still resting. A little bit of privacy out there.
She only has a minute to go. And I wonder if she's got enough time to rest.
Yeah, we'll have to see. She's decided, though, that this is the moment. Pulls up, no hesitations as she comes on. Yeah, you think this will be her last go. Easy through this sequence. Nails the heel hook, then gets the left hook. Similar position to the heel, I think. Now bumps it a bit further left.
Oh, further left. Interesting.
Oh, you can see how awkward that move is. The second you bring the left hand up, you start falling and rotating backwards.
Yeah. Do we have only 2 more climbers to go?
Yeah, we're getting to the end of things. I'm looking up at the scoreboard now to wait. Brooke gets put into 3rd at the moment.
Unknown needs to get the zone on the women's floor to squeeze herself into the final. And Miho needs to top the 4th boulder.
Right, well, that's what they've got to do. 5 seconds to go. Final couple of climbs here. She runs onto the stage, dumps the bags, and now shaking her hands out.
I would have to say Anon will probably be the most familiar person with the tuna, because her home gym have probably 20 tunas in total. Maybe not that many.
They're endangered, you can't get that many. Terrible joke there.
No, but her home gym is actually next to the manufacturer of this hold brand.
Oh, okay, so they provide it straight in.
Probably.
I want more tuna holds in Europe. We've got to see some of these. Anon swings out. So she'll know that the further up you go, the better it gets, but then tricky to bring the right in. That zone hold as well, we're not really talking enough about it because it's pretty nasty.
It doesn't look that good either.
Sort of a slopey, crimpy thing. Anon just massaging that right wrist.
She did look a little pumped on the 3rd boulder, and I wonder if 5 minutes was just enough time for her to rest up for this powerful, intense boulder.
Yeah, it's such a mean one to put in at the end. You saw our scoreboard there. Noah Shiran in the danger zone in 6th place. Anon in 7th at the moment, looking for a zone. Remember, IFSC app, free to download. Live updates on the scoring. Anon pulls on. You can see the handprint left from before there on the tuna surface. Crosses with the right. Two minutes 47, she'll clean that hold up. I think we've got mics on the wall here, which is why you can hear the banging from the brushes.
I have actually seen people setting up a mic behind the wall.
Behind the wall? Okay.
Or like right above the wall, so that you can actually hear athletes breathing.
I do like it. I mean, it brings that sort of like, you understand how much effort they're putting into it. It feels a bit invasive sometimes when you can hear someone sort of like breathing heavily through the holds, but yeah, they've brought it in the last couple of years, and I think it has added something to the watching part of this sport, to the experience, I should say. That's our top 6. Hannah Moyle still leading the way. Jelulu, Brooke Rabitou, Ayala Karem, Mia Krampel, Noah Shiran make up our top 6 at the moment. Anon really resting. 1 minute 37 on the clock for her. cuts loose. Left foot drilled into that jib. Looking for the cross again, sticks it this time.
She did have her head a little bit lower.
Oh, again cuts with the feet. The second slap though. It's so hard to adjust on a sloper like that.
But that did bump her up to 4th.
Yeah, so she's into the final. Pushes Noah Sharan out. Mia Crumple in the danger zone now.
It would have also been amazing if we got to see 2 Israel people on the final round. But I also wanted to see 1 Japanese person at least.
Can't have it all, Mia. "38 seconds. I'd imagine she'll leave it right to the end here. Has the zone, is in the finals. Could leave it here. She won't necessarily know the score though. They're not meant to, and the scoreboard is kind of behind from where the athletes can see. But now she calls it a day. And we will get Miho Nanaka's final boulder in a couple of seconds.
I might be quiet for the next 5 minutes because I'm gonna be super nervous.
You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. Right, here we go. 13 seconds, counts down, Miho Nanaka. Let's just run out to give Noah Sharan a big hug on the stage. So not on the stage, in the audience. Right, Miho on, she goes, onto the max. The crowd got behind her last time, she'll need that again. She's currently sitting in 16th, needs a top here. No one has topped. This is going to be a massive moment if she can get this done.
She also must know that she needs this in order to proceed to the next round.
Right, first time touching the tuner. Oh, statically brings that right through. Really controlled, then bumps it up again, but that's going to be taking the power out of her. Onto the crimp, fingers shaking as she crimps. Right hand, adjusts twice, gets the left, legs kick. Somehow she's still on the wall, holds the heel. Now rocks up, and then the heel bobbles off. Oh, and looks down at her hands, as you said.
Told you she has the sweaty hands.
You did. And Mia sitting next to me was just like grabbing your hair. I didn't know if you noticed, was like pulling it as Miho fell. Look at this. She got the crimp.
But then her left heel slipped.
Okay, deep breaths, everyone. 3 minutes 30 on the clock. Can the Olympic silver medalists get into the finals here in the first World Cup of the year?
I think since she already knows what she needs to do, I would personally prefer if she rests it up until maybe a minute. 2 minutes of a rest.
Yeah, she's got 3 minutes on the clock. Shaking out, walking around like a tiger, prowling. Her left shoulder taped up. She's had a few issues with that over the years. Remember in Innsbruck when she injured it before the Olympics, and we're all really worried. Trying to shake the pump out of those arms. Miho Nanaka seems to enjoy these big high-pressured moments. The MC trying to get her hyped. Miho responding.
It is also hard not to go on your next attempt when crowd is cheering you on.
Yeah, you must feel that energy. You want to kind of show them. You want to get on with it, but yeah, resting is key here. Ticking down towards the 2 minute mark. Tension in this stadium right now. Everyone's dropping into silence. A lot of nervous tapping going on. Every time she approaches the wall, they start to clap. Well, minute 50. She didn't quite rest for as long as you wanted. She might have 2 attempts though. into the knee. Now crosses above straight away. Better from Miho Nanaka.
She does look a little more secure about the moves below.
She does. Only 2 adjustments now. Now with the left. Now watch this heel. It's all about this.
She did get the last move. Can she?
Oh! So close, slapping that hold. And I don't know if I saw some blood there as she came down. Maybe not. Right, she's got a minute 15, which means she can rest for maybe another. Oh no, I think she's finishing. So that was Miho Nanaka's last chance saloon on that one. Gave it everything. And with that, well, we have our top 6, we have our finalists, and we'll just wait for confirmation of those scores as our audience gets up, stands up, ready to leave. Well, a couple of hours break if you're watching at home. We do return later on this afternoon, 4:45. 4:45 will our final start. That was Miho Nanaka saying goodbye. So close, a little shake of her head as she exits the stage. Well, she will be watching from the audience. And the audience will file out now. Well, Mia, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you for having me here.
And you're going to be back tomorrow for the men's semi-final.
That's correct.
Awesome, can't wait to have you here. We get to see another set of boulders, more athletes. Before that, women's final tonight. Make sure you don't miss it. And then tomorrow we have the men's semi-final and final. And that is the last top. We didn't see anyone match that. Let's look at the leaderboard. Hannah Moyle leads the way in first position, followed by Jilulo, Brooke Rabatu, Anon Matsufuji, Ayala Karem, and Mia Krampel will make up our top 6. Noah Shiran so close to getting in. And then as we scroll through the rest of the leaderboard, Imori, Natalia Grossman, she won't make a final. Jessie Piltz misses out as well. Big names here. We look through the rest of our leaderboard. There was Miho Nanaka, heroics on that final boulder, got the zone, came so close to the final hold. Sophia Yokoyama as well, impressive stuff from her, 12th place finish.
This was definitely the hard round Miho was looking for. I don't know if she's happy with her performance, but...
Yeah, true. What did she say? She wanted to be punched in the face. Well, perhaps she got that. We'll find out. Real tough from all the athletes. Our crowd will leave the stadium. Make sure our route setters can strip the wall, set the final boulders, and what an atmosphere it's going to be here in the stadium this evening. I cannot wait for that action. Do go and check out the qualification highlights if you haven't seen that. Couple of nice shots from the athletes. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We will return this evening for more climbing action for the IFSC.